Okay, so yeah, I guess how do we intro this here?
So Hugs, how did that all start, Daniel?
Well, should we start with an intro?
Why don't you tell me?
Are we going to intro all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! I didn't see you there.
Here I have, you guessed it, a fit hug.
Oh, hey, mister.
You know who doesn't get to eat eggs for breakfast? This dog. This is Coco.
What? Oh! Ah!
I guess we'll just say welcome everybody to this video. We're just kind of do a chronological look at all of our work and some of our favorite moments, and then that'll be kind of putting a nice bow on the end of a saga here in filming in Kentucky. So again, we have Patrick Lands, Daniel Wine, and Pierce Decker. So thanks for joining us. We'll just go ahead and start. What do you want to start with?
At the very beginning.
Yeah.
Hugs.
So Hugs was something I started in Indiana by myself, learning a new camera, and then Patrick decided he'd just hang out and help me film.
That was
delicious.
Thanks for watching.
And we had the only thing we had was a camera, and so that was kind of it. Some of the goofy stuff at the beginning, very short, very silly, to get people interested. So that was kind of our phase one of the Magnolia Cinematic Universe, maybe. So.
Ian, so nice to see you again.
Well, looks like I'm not the one who needs to be protected.
So I'm just gonna have to kill you.
Oh my god, Damien, what are you doing?
I won't let you go, Felicity. Freeze! Drop the bag!
Whoa, man, I wasn't even doing anything.
Shut up and drop the bag right now!
No!
Stop, motherfucker! Ow! Get off it! I'm leaving. No, you are! No! What have you done?
That was the beginning. So.
And little does anybody else know besides us that there's actually a Hugs 4 and 5.
Yeah, those have
that
never
will never surface ever.
Yeah, ever. Those will
They
never.
were so bad that we even knew they were bad.
Yeah, we knew those were bad. So.
Then there was Say My Name
and Labor of Love.
Yeah.
Those were two just more goofy stuff that we just kind of invited some friends, Adam and Emily, to be a part of. And sure thing, man. Send them right over. And then
I just want to say our mic in Say My Name was pretty awesome. It was like that boom, the broom pole.
Yeah.
Then we had it like tied to like this string, and the mic was just like dangling there.
We had it doing that, and then we had it at Josh's. We had a ping pong paddle, is what it was sitting on for that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's right, the ping pong paddle.
Yeah, so a lot of growth there. Obviously, we started getting more equipment and learn how to use that, and it was still just the two of us hanging out with friends. And then really when we started to bump up into things with Roadhouse Rumble, we were at Pearson, and he started to really take over our audio, and we bought better equipment with that.
Arguably our worst project ever.
Yeah, so we had a real bump there, but it was a growth curve.
That one was for the
yeah, it was for the club.
The FPC.
Yeah.
We are the Louisville Film Production Club.
Yeah, so the FPC was something we were joining, and at that time we were telling them, like, we've made stuff before, you should trust us to do the best work. And then
we were experts, right?
Yeah,
We're like,
right. And then we produced Roadhouse Rumble, which was just a disaster. It was a lot of fun, but it was a total disaster. But
What'd you say to me, cowboy? That'll be enough! Damn it, we kissed. Sorry.
so that, I don't know if that group ever went anywhere. I don't know if you guys ever kept up with that.
No,
but
I don't think I'm Facebook friends with any of them.
Yeah, so that just kind of seems to have fallen apart, but hopefully that's still going well somewhere. So after that, we had things like Hallowed Ground.
Yeah, our first person.
Yeah, so Patrick was
Starring
actually.
yours truly.
Do we have any pictures of that? Of you with the backpack?
I think we do. Yeah, well,
I'm sure we do.
We probably do.
I'll have to dig them up, but.
The backpack had the tripod with the camera right at face level, and he was supposed to have that in first person. The goal with that was to shoot we had like 5 different friends all wearing masks and face paint all throughout the house. We were supposed to do it all in one take, and we failed too many times, so we cut it into 5.
I'm pretty sure it was like 15 or 16 times.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there were so many mirrors in that house.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you go, oh, nope, start over, all the way back out.
Yeah.
And then we had those special microphones that I put in my ears.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be like left and right channels.
Because it brought the audio in like that, right?
Yeah,
and
it's supposed to be like what you hear versus...
Yeah.
And you were very loud.
Yeah.
Oh, we were just like right here.
Yeah, that's right. So that was a fun project. It was just one of those things that we knew we were going to have fun with people that we had met from some of the plays I was in at the time. Actually,
That was Conrad's first
Yeah.
cameo. He was the pig man.
Yeah, that had Garrett and Conrad for the pig man. Yeah, and then the Scottish girl whose name I'm totally blanking on. So I forgot about
We'll
that.
cut that.
We'll
out.
cut that. Yeah, cut that. We had new friends in that one, so a lot was going on there. But then we moved into really the next phase with better editing software and really like cementing Pierce.
Was Draw the first one that we used Premiere on?
That was the first one we used Premiere on. That was one that we really kind of upped it with different color grading and using different techniques and different fonts and all kinds of stuff. So
I forgot how absurd that one was.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like so ridiculous.
So do we reveal what that is, or do we keep that to ourselves?
What, Drunken Cab?
Yeah, what that's.
Yeah, it's backwards.
So
was that a reveal?
I guess
I hope
that was
people
the
figured
reveal.
it out at this
So,
point. Like,
it took some people several times reading it to figure out what was going on there, but Draw K Cab is backwards, so that's the whole movie. Eventually we had to cut it off because we were starting to think, okay, so we're dressing with all the clothes themselves inside out, but do we put the underwear on the outside of the robe? And that's when we had to start saying, that's enough of backwards.
Like driving the car backwards is like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So that one was just ridiculous film. We did film that on Papa John's, didn't we?
We did at that
Yeah.
little, the Papa John's Park with Josh. So
Yeah, we used Josh, and then that's
was
the one,
super
that's
windy
the
that
one with
day.
the sandwich.
Yeah,
that
with
you
the
left in the car.
Yeah.
It was like no, it was the front room.
It was the front room. Yeah, we left the sandwiches
It was
in
like
the
a
front
year,
room.
I think,
It was
wasn't it?
7 months, and then I moved them to the cabinet
Yes.
in the kitchen without throwing them away. So we found them again.
Oh man!
And then we finally tossed them after they
Yeah,
were like,
we
you know,
finally-
growing things.
Yeah, after it had basically become a graveyard of dead sandwiches. So.
And then we became a legit studio, and
Yes.
Humble came along.
Yes,
Yeah.
when Humble came along, we worked with
Legit.
Conrad. Conrad's favorite word was or.
Or?
And what we were doing was taking all of this energy from like a really great guy, great artist. He was doing a lot of good work because he was a master's, right? Already? Wasn't he already doing his master's?
I think so.
Yeah, because he had to write that like 50-page thesis or something he was talking about.
Yeah. So we took. He was just putting a lot of energy and a lot of possibilities, and we basically had to just reel it back in.
So are you. So are you.
We can't
And
be
then
like.
she has a turd sign. What if he did that? No. What if he's pregnant? Oh! And she goes Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan!
And say, let's get a manageable, 5, 6, 7 minutes?
6 minutes and 18
Yeah.
seconds.
So we were just bringing it down into what we could actually film, and that was the first time we actually got lights.
Yeah,
got
we
makeup.
rented like really fancy lights.
Yeah.
They got super hot.
Yeah,
Like actual costumes.
Like
and
I
Yeah.
burned a couple
Yeah.
socks or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, where it's like, fire!
yeah.
They're really toasty.
And
And we like redid the whole front room too.
Yep.
Yeah, that one.
Yep.
That was the first time we actually like
We like set dressed.
did a lot of work
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Like Drunken
we did.
Cab was a lot of work for like the props and like
Yep.
the kind of the crazy stuff. But this one was like we took time out. Like,
Yeah.
It took us forever to set it up.
Yep.
We had to light it. We had to make sure everything was okay. We didn't just kind of like hand wave anything.
I think that's kind of why it felt a little bit more like real.
Yeah.
Because we prepped. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
looking back, it's like we really didn't do much, but like to us, that was like huge.
Yeah, to us it was
So-
huge. I mean, some of the furniture even here is what we use there, and brought in, like I said, we brought in makeup, we brought in someone to do hair, we brought all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff, and a lot of people
That's
working
right.
for free. So thank
Right.
you to all those people that
Right.
helped.
I think we even like planned out the shots too. If I remember.
Yeah, we had a whole shot list and everything that we were working on. So
That's right, because I think I still have the pictures of you like huddling in the corner.
yeah,
like,
you probably do. Yeah. But that one, that really turned into something way, way bigger because Conrad had a vision that he wanted to complete, and that we kind of spaced out with some of the other projects. That was kind of our next
we
big
did the
phase.
Siren after that. So.
Yeah. So really pulling in people like
Was
Aaron
the Siren
and
our
Grace.
second one, really?
Yeah, so that was
so we did Humble Part 1 and then the Siren and then 2 and 3.
Wow.
Yeah, and so that was really great. We had people like Grace who we brought in, and we just abused her throughout the entire filming of those 4, standing in the cold. I mean, you can see in some
It
of
was
the
like
clips.
20 degrees, and we were all like, "Oh my god, it's so cold!" I had like 3 jackets on.
Yeah.
Ready to rock? Can we go from oldest trick in the book?
Sure.
Okay.
Halftime she was barefoot.
Barefoot,
Yeah.
her hands are blood red, her feet are red, she's wearing a dress, and all of us are like warming up. He's got coffee. You know, so-
like here, you want some like?
yeah. So we really, people like Grace and Aaron and Conrad really kind of put it on the line for some of
they
those
did.
shots, and
Thanks, guys.
really appreciate that. So that was really great, just a lot of energy and a lot of fun, and we grew a lot through a lot of those too. So. Especially you can tell the acting changed from Humble 1 even into the Siren. They were better and better, and then into Humble 2 even better. So they really came together to make some fun stuff.
Because a lot of those guys were stage.
Yeah,
They didn't do stuff in front of the camera before.
Yeah.
So it was a lot different trying to like, I mean, it's very different, you know, like going from the stage to the screen. So it was just trying to be like, okay, guys, we're doing film.
Yeah,
so
you got to bring it down. And,
it's not as like dramatic, I guess.
yeah.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, go ahead. Hey, all right. So yeah, welcome to Studio Theater. My name is Conrad Davis. I'm the graduate studio coordinator.
You know what my dad said when I told him?
What?
He started crying and told me that she was a better woman than I'd ever be.
You volunteer, you son of a bitch!
You're going to get it out, Larry!
Yeah, so as we wrap up with Humble, there's a lot of great people that came in on the project. I think that's the one we probably had the most overall with Isaiah coming in and all kinds of stuff like that. So really great people coming in with that.
A lot of different locations too.
That too, yeah. And we did his over such a long period of time, and you'll notice like with Wanton, we did that, and it's Wanton, not Wonton, but we did that. We did that all in 1 week, and we had multiple locations, but that was also written differently. But with Humble, we wrote that over several months, and you can see that kind of in our bloopers, like where we are and where we're shooting and how we're writing, and the whole thing just took a long, long time.
Yeah,
so.
because like in the last scene of the Humble Part 3, we're in the living room again, and we had to like, we broke it down and like put our house back together, and then we had to like re-put the scene back together, and I think we kind of just had to like go back and watch it and be like, did we put everything in the right spot?
Yeah. So there's a lot of little things like that we had to make sure all the props stayed intact and all kinds of different stuff. But we really kind of came into our own in that era, and we had actually put some of this stuff on Reddit and got a lot of non-biased feedback where people were telling us like what sucked and what worked and things like that. So that was really big, and that really kind of helped us moving into films like Wanton and the other ones where we had workshopped that almost professionally with a class that I was taking, and that really helped to really tie everything in when we had 20 people workshopping a script. And so with that, and then that's where we got Aaron's, To Find a Trail.
Yeah.
That one, funnily enough, we've had feedback come back where people have like watched our catalog, and that's the one they've commented on, and that's stuck out to them as one of their favorites. So he did great, and we just kind of hosted that. We also worked with Louis Metzinger. He stuck out from that class as well. He was doing great work, and we've worked with him with a ton of different stuff.
And then wasn't We Meet Again, Morgan's piece? Wasn't that from the class too? That did she like never do it, and then we went back and
dropped
did it,
out, I think, because
that's what it was.
Yeah, she dropped out, and she had already written her whole piece, and she still wanted to film it, and the teacher loved her script so much he wanted someone to do it. So we ended up, because we were friends with Morgan, we ended up filming that, and that was a great one too, because we ended up hitting some snags with trying new camera techniques on like singles and what would work that we learned in Wanton that worked well, and then we applied it there, and we learned how like you can disconnect characters and relations and stuff. So
remember that mirror shot we did? Like
I
I kept screwing it up, and I was like, guys, I gotta get this, and I finally got it. I was like, yes.
Yep.
back.
We also filmed a lot of that one outside.
We did a lot. We
used those filters to make it look like evening, even though it kind of didn't really work.
It didn't quite pan out.
Yeah.
So that one was another big one because we had a lot of backing and support from Ron that led that class, and it was really great that Morgan gave that to us. And I think like anything else, those things don't always end up matching what you had in mind, but that was really nice that Morgan brought us in for that, and we had a good time doing that. So
this is really awkward. Sorry.
You're good.
Don't move.
I will not actually move.
Does someone want to say it? What we're doing?
Oh, this is Morgan's monologue, take 1.
Whenever you're ready.
Whenever, okay. Why can't I get this guy out of my head?
Just as I walked out, so nice to see you again, and 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 again. I could go on.
If this goes totally... And then after that...
Unexpected Labor of Love 2, our first sequel, I guess, if you want to call it that.
The first real sequel, that was a year, that was Labor Day 2 years in a row. We had videos for Labor Day. So.
And we really touched on color theory there. The instant cuts between her and I think she was wearing pink and all happy and joyous with Leo being alive, and then no more Leo and
But that one was good too because we were really starting to bring in even I would say everyone that we met at U of L was a higher caliber than myself or friends that we had worked with. But then we were bringing in people from the Louisville Studio for Actors with Keith and with Chris, and Jenny was the only one that we worked with. And that was just a really kind of moving into the next level of being finding professional training. And Jenny was great. I mean, she was really great to work with. So. That, and then we brought in the others for Unexpected.
Yeah, I was going to say, we worked with Keith on Unexpected.
We did, that's right,
he was the dad.
Yeah, he was the dad, so...
He did a good job in that one.
Yeah, he did
that
was
great. I think about that line, she's here, she's
here.
She's here. All the time.
Oh, hey.
Hey, babe.
Sorry. What, are we eating in here? What's up?
No, we actually just got some really good news.
She's here, she's here.
Yeah.
That was our first 48-hour film festival.
Yeah, so
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had done it the year prior with just friends from high school, and this one was really our first one. And then
the bathroom commentary, I think, is great. Were you? I couldn't remember. So we had the 3 act. We had you, Grace, and then Emily were in there, and then I was in there with the camera.
Yep.
And were you in there as well?
I was on the toilet.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
okay, because I was hunched over.
Yeah, I was sitting on the toilet with the boom all the way down and just kind of
Yeah, I can't remember how many people we squeezed in that bathroom.
It was 5 or 6.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I think 5. Yeah, just a crazy amount of people, and that's why.
And we had to open the door too.
Yeah, you'll notice it's a huge wide-angle lens, which we almost never use.
Yeah,
and that's because he's up in the corner and just right off screen. But that was intense because that one was designed because I wanted to do more of a directing thing and to stay out of it, but I still wanted to act a little bit. And then we finished it and we were like, you have the most screen time.
Yeah, you're the main character essentially.
So, to be fair, we had 12 hours to write it.
We did. So yeah,
I think it came together really well.
It did.
That was a fun challenge, I think, for us.
Yes.
Because we again 48 hours to write, film, and edit.
Yes.
It was exhausting.
It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah. And we had a whole bunch of people that were ready to be there at a moment's notice, and that's what the whole thing is designed to be, but that was really great that we were able to bring them in, and even people like Morgan, they sat for 6 hours before we even used them, so we appreciate everybody that worked in on that one.
Yeah.
And
I remember my parents coming out to the showing, and my dad was cracking up at all the jokes, and then my mom I was like, well, did you think it was funny, Mom? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, she's like, it's dude humor.
Yeah, it was our humor.
She's like, Brian thought it was hilarious then.
Yeah.
Cool.
It really was it was. We seem to each year and after each phase, we kind of hit these funny benchmarks where we work with more serious people and we make something that's still us.
Yeah.
And that's what you'll notice too with the next year's 48-hour film festival, which kind of capped off a lot of what we did.
Yeah.
And we really got back to the basics with just even higher quality. Sound was perfect, image was perfect, acting was on point, editing. We had Lewis, we had Chris, and we even had all our friends come in for that one too.
Right.
So we had a really great showing for that, and a great showing at the showing with everybody's families had come in and girlfriends were there.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It definitely meant a lot that like everyone like came and supported us.
Yeah.
Even though they were like, these are like so dumb.
Yeah.
Right, and I think that's kind of a big deal. I know our parents. You know, I appreciate you guys watching all of them.
Yeah.
They'll probably never watch this.
It was like literally everyone's family was there. It was
and it was for our stupid video.
Like 7 minutes.
Yeah, we had a great time filming it, but I know that it looked like. I mean, there were times our videos were just not good. I will admit that.
Times, you mean like most of the time?
But they watched them and they gave feedback, and we had a lot of support, and it was great.
Yeah, we really did. And that's what kind of meant a lot too, is we've kind of named a lot of people that have worked on these films with us, and a lot of people you see again and again, but a lot of parents and people who gave up time and locations and gave us props and all kinds of things that we really haven't mentioned. But
yeah, no, we use like every inch of a college house.
Yeah.
And, like we filmed my parents.
We followed your dad to work.
Yeah,
your dad's work.
Yeah.
And
so we just had a lot of people that were just willing to give. And what you had mentioned earlier was the film that we never even did, and his parents were totally on board to give us space.
Right.
Just a lot of people that were willing.
Kutzner's house.
Kutzner,
we meet again. And
do you ever use anything in your house, Pat?
Say My Name was the
there. It was in like The Office.
That's right. That's right.
Where we didn't tell my dad that you sat in his chair in just your underwear until they watched it.
And I see there's like multiple themes throughout here. We have like common phrases like honestly and frankly and let's do it. I seem to be naked in more than half of these for some reason.
But you wrote them more than
I wrote them. So it's not like Hollywood was making me do anything.
What is that saying, Daniel?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I seem to have bad haircuts for most of these.
Yes, the notorious haircut.
Oh, there's a couple where it's
just a little rough,
From the back.
Just a miscommunication between me and the hairdresser. But she's a great lady. I just tend to have the wrong vision for that.
It's kind of cool though, because like I went back and watched him, and it was like my old car was in there.
Yep.
Like multiple times, and then like the college house. It's like we pretty much use every square inch of that. So it's kind of cool to see it all again.
It really is. It's been really great to see as we've looked back on all this and rewatched it, like just the catalog of everything in our lives at that time. We knew like even like editing Wanton, we had an engineering project that I spent more time doing this project than I did on the engineering project.
Was that when we did the sewing machine?
Yep, that was a sewing machine.
Yeah, because I was like, I got this. This is what I do for my job.
Yeah.
So
and I mean, he was working part time and going to school, and
it was a really busy time because we were what, juniors and seniors doing this?
Seniors, pretty much.
In engineering school.
Shout out to Kelly for like seriously picking up the slack. When we're like, we're gonna go film and we're just gonna leave.
But it was a good break.
It was.
Because we would spend all day kind of doing that engineering stuff.
Yep.
And we'd come and do this very more artsy thing.
Yeah, keep going.
And it would, it was a nice break. But we did use our engineering stuff in it a lot.
We did, yeah.
I mean, you made the clapper.
Yeah.
You made the first boom pole.
Yeah.
And it was just, we did come at it very analytically a lot of times.
It was also like the thinking on the spot, I think. Really helped.
Right.
Like, we got to fix this now.
Yeah, a lot of the problem solving and trying to figure out how to get certain things to work out, and that was really huge to figure out how to apply everything that we'd learned into something that was totally creative but still technical.
No need to bring it in, there will be enough. Birthdays mean having fun with friends, not getting lost of stuff. It won't be the
Yeah, so all that really kind of culminated in a film that we did called Wibwid. Secrets to that one are it's WIBWID, which is What It Be, What It Do, which is another YouTuber who was much bigger than us.
Yeah.
It's iDubbbz's reference on one of his little movies, so that was something that
Wasn't that the food review?
Yeah, it was
watched like
about a food
10
review.
billion times in college.
Yeah. So.
What's up, people? What it be, what it do. Happy Man Snacks back again with a new review.
Hey, what's going on, party people? It's your boy Snack Dubs back again with another legit food review.
And that Wibwid was this perfect kind of culmination of all of our silliness brought into, again, kind of like the 48-hour film with BetMD. Just a lot of great technical stuff. And we really could not, like Patrick had mentioned a little bit earlier, we could not fit in with these groups of people that we were meeting that took things so seriously. Yeah. And they would make these 20 to 30 to 40-minute films that were just way different than anything we could really gel with. Things we didn't care for, and they were all nice people. Everybody we met was just kind of
and they were great. They were good films.
Yeah, and some of them were good, and they just weren't our style. So
some of them granted were kind of like out there.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true. And
but
that's what we based ours off of.
Yeah, and that was just adding our twist to make fun of something that we just was not us. So we made something that wasn't us. We made it ours. So.
And I think we just started with like absurd scenes. It was just like a list of scenes, and then. I think you wrote the dialogue that like
in like an afternoon.
Yeah, it was like 15 minutes or something, and it's just like, is it spiders or is it not?
Everything is either spiders or it isn't.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
So
because if we can understand that everything is either spiders or it isn't, we can know that this is the true fear, and through this, I can know that we are what it be. We are what it do.
It wasn't supposed to make any sense.
We are what it do.
So none of it was supposed to make sense. It just total joke, and it looked good. It sounded good. He was
I don't think anyone got what we were going, except for I think we asked Lewis, and he was like he understood it.
Yeah, there were one or two people.
Us a lot.
There were one or two people that were like, we don't get it. It looks good, but like we just don't get it, and that's the whole point. And it's just kind of funny that people even still took us too seriously after 2 whole years of taking shirts off on screen, writing dumb dialogue, having fun with hugs, drinks. Like people still after 2 years just took it way too seriously that we were just having a good time. So.
But that one was even that was still fun to shoot.
It was.
Because we had Morgan and Rocco.
Yep, Morgan and Rocco.
And Chris came.
Asian Chris.
For a little bit, because. Remember, you guys would you leave like the?
We left the $500 camera stabilizer.
At
the waterfront. So
that's right.
Morgan, it was Morgan, Rocco, and myself.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
and you were there, and then we were like, well, we'll just go ahead and shoot like the very last scene where they kind of like get together or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you guys ran back down to the waterfront.
Yeah.
So I love that scene. That's like my favorite of everything we've done. That's like my favorite because everyone was just like lit so well.
Yep.
And then the shoe shot, I don't know why. I like it. It looks really good.
Is that what's on your?
Is that on your resume?
It's on the resume. Wrangler.
It goes to show, like, no matter how much we learned technically, we just kind of forgot things along the way, like how to collect all of our equipment by the end of the shoot.
Right.
So,
it's like, do we have everything?
Yeah. To be fair, we had a lot of stuff.
We did. We had a lot of stuff. So
it got to be a lot.
Those kinds of films were really great because we were just bringing in friends to have a good time, and some of it was just some of the best fun that we had.
I think those are my favorites, and I think I'm biased because I shot them and had fun shooting them. But the ones where we just kind of like. We understood that we were just having a good time.
Yeah.
I think those turned out the best.
Yeah.
Like WebMD.
We
went and we had a good time filming. We were goofy. It wasn't serious.
Yep.
And it turned out, you could see the fun that we had, I think, come through on screen.
Yeah.
In 2012, you had, and I quote, extreme anxiety due to the impending end of the modern world as we know it. Who goes to the doctor for that?
Oh, and don't forget, back in 2000... don't even get me started on Y2K.
How does a man get a hysterectomy?
And yet that was also our best film shoot we ever had. It was a 48-hour film festival. We had the script done by, I think, midnight. So everyone got like 6 hours of sleep. Yeah. And we were up and everyone showed up on time. We had enough time for lunch and we got everything in. We had no card failures. And the whole thing just, it was perfect. It was a perfect way to...
Lewis edited that one too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Lewis carried a lot of that too. So
yeah, Lewis. he was a big help on that one.
Yeah, it was like the only film that you kind of just like were able to act.
Yeah.
And he kind of just like directed.
And that really was part of the goal, was allowing me to go from hugs, sitting in front of the camera, doing stuff, to 2.5, almost 3 years later, to being able to do that again. And, I'd enjoy doing all the stuff like writing and directing and whatever and editing and just kind of we all wore multiple hats. We even had Grace, we talked about in the beginning, she would be working the clapper and freezing outside to act, so everybody was wearing multiple hats, doing all kinds of stuff.
We had to. I mean, we had a very limited crew and,
Because you'd always be like, how'd it go? I'd be like, you're in the center of the screen. I can't tell you anything about the acting. You're not good.
Yep.
I was going to say one thing that we did was the victims awareness for the judicial thing in here for the sexual assault victims. We worked on that. We did a film that we called The Gun Piece.
Yes! Oh my god!
That is in the possession of a friend of ours, and we will never see that. So, Asian Chris, if you're watching, please send us our film.
Yes,
so I can edit it.
Oh man, that was good.
So
because I was in the girls' house. It was like
50,
no heat,
50 degrees in the house. Yeah,
and we were like breathing.
That one also went through a lot of script revisions.
It did. That was something it was like we were trying to write something and we just couldn't agree on it, and then we just narrowed it down to one scene, and we were like, this is the best of the whole thing.
And we even rented that Sony camera.
Yeah, we rented a Sony camera. Yeah, so that one is the antithesis to BetMD. We did a bunch of work that never worked out.
And then we just didn't do anything.
Yeah. So we're here on the second day of shooting.
We still haven't come up with a title yet, have we?
No, there is no title yet. We are eating.
It doesn't have a title.
Gun Piece doesn't
canes.
Yeah.
And we're just waiting on Morgan to get here, and then we're going to start shooting day 2.
Hey, what's the address?
But that was a lot of fun. Another thing we did was a lot of work with Lewis. You can watch his stuff. I mean, we did a lot. Even if we weren't on screen for that, we helped with a lot of his.
Yeah, it was the plague that we had there?
Yeah.
That was a lot of
fun.
You give me your flower, or else we will burn this place and everyone in it to the ground.
It was.
He rented the screen.
Yeah.
And then like the focus.
Yep.
That was so cool. So cool.
That was a lot more work than we ever put in anything.
It was. I mean,
and like the explosions.
Oh my
gosh.
god.
All of his special effects and his real effects. We did. What else did we do? We did, and the biggest thing, really, I keep saying we had like a culmination, but when the film Better Start Running came into Kentucky, and they wanted students. They just needed students to sign up and apply.
They're like, wait, you're engineering students?
They got 3 engineering students to sign applications.
There's only one other intern too, right?
That was it.
Well, we were camera interns.
Right.
There was one other guy Heffley, John Heffley.
Yeah,
that's right.
He worked on that,
and he helped us with Honeymoon Suite.
Yeah, he did. Another one.
Yeah.
So Honeymoon Suite we did with a good friend, Matthew.
Right, and then everything else, I think we can just kind of put here.
Yeah.
Kind of what I have here or what you had in mind.
Yeah.
So,
but there's so much that.
Nope, video. No.
So I think they.
Oh, I definitely.
Cool. Hey. Nice. There was a lot. You'll see this a lot. Is just some things just don't hit the vision of what the person was looking for.
Yeah.
Emily Ansert, she worked with us on our 48-hour film, and she had one that didn't come to fruition. Matthew had one that came that didn't come to fruition. We went to Lexington for
towards the end. We started doing a lot more of like helping with others. Yeah. Because we had a lot of equipment on our own.
Yep.
That they didn't have, so they would essentially borrow us for the equipment.
Yeah. We essentially turned into a studio that was we rented to people, and we did some people's monologues and some people's headshots and just all kinds of fun stuff like that.
With the Honeymoon Suite, I remember that was like the height of my Wes Anderson obsession.
Oh yeah.
I just remember the shot where somebody was sitting on the couch, and I had it like positioned so perfectly in the middle, like a total cliche Wes Anderson shot. I was like, this is it, guys.
Yeah.
This is.
How much do you think you added to the length of that film shoot? With just sitting there, filming with your camera, trying to get it perfect.
Can I stick this? All right, can you spread your legs?
You expect me to talk, Goldfinger? No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die.
Just because we can't really see his hands.
How about that?
This is just
too much time. We pulled an all-nighter, and it was probably
that one was kind of a hard shoot just because it was late and we were all in that one hotel room trying to get all of them. There were mirrors everywhere.
And you grew out that nasty.
So we're gonna put a picture of that.
Yeah, put a picture of that.
Yeah. So which wasn't really the end, because then I ended up in the little stuff that I've done by myself. I've grown hair down to the shoulders and shaved it.
That's true.
So that's kind of been my own thing, but it would not have been possible without, number one, these 2 guys, all of our families, and then everyone. If you want to pull up our list of friends here, and I'll go ahead and read them off. So I just want to say a huge thank you to Grace, Conrad, Aaron, Lewis, Morgan, Isaiah, Josh, Michael, Casey, Keith, Jenny, Emily, Chris, Asian Chris, Alex, Steven, Brad, Rocco, Richard, Danielle, and Hannah. I mean, every one of those people played some role on screen or off screen. Those are all the names that I could find from our credits. They were all just phenomenal people. So a huge thank you to everyone that made this possible.
Thanks, guys.
So again, it really started with Hugs, which was 30 or 40 seconds of drinking Kool-Aid
So stupid.
to Better Start Running was where we were unpaid camera interns on a 5-week film that was like $1.5 million budget. So big names on that.
Say goodbye.
And they even put our names in the credits.
Yeah.
Our names in the credits for that. So that one you can find on Amazon. I think it's streaming on Amazon.
Yeah.
So it really built over the course of 3 years. So even though we've kind of split ways now, and everybody, even all of our friends, everybody's doing different stuff. You know, there's things that I still want to do with new friends in San Diego, but these guys have been so great in making this real. So.
Lean your head to the left.
Sorry.
One more.
God damn it.
Stop moving. You want this?
Yeah, so there's a lot of I don't say issues in filming,
Issues.
but we had a lot of interruptions.
Yeah.
And
I think it didn't help that we were like screaming at the top of our lungs.
Yeah. So in film it was part 2, right?
Talking about
part 2.
Guns.
Yeah. So we were screaming, "You shot him! You shot him!" And other things of that nature.
Put down the gun.
Yeah, put down the gun. Don't do it.
Yeah, man, put your gun on the ground. Leave me the fuck alone.
Eric, put the gun down.
Eric, put the gun down now.
I can't. I shot your father. You know me and you go way back. I would never tell unless you wanted me to, but you have to put the gun down.
It says nothing to do with you. Put your gun on the ground.
Eric, put the gun down now.
Man, I can't. I killed her father.
You know, it's very normal things you'd hear in a parking garage at 11 p.m. on a Saturday night.
On a college campus.
On a college campus. In a kind of a shady part of town.
Yep.
So it's no surprise that someone called the cops. It was
Yeah.
like, hey, there's something going on up there.
Yeah.
And so we had an Officer Yoshi, walk up. Luckily, I had the boom pole. Extended. So he saw it and he did theater and some stuff like that we were doing. So he understood what was going on.
He totally looked at that he like understood.
Right. So he walked up. It was like, hey guys, let's try to not do that anymore. Yeah. Luckily, we were finished.
We were pretty
at
much
that
done.
point.
Yeah.
We were cleaning up. But and then another time, we were filming again in a seedy part of town.
Yeah.
It was late, and a guy was talking about. I think you were screaming, "Help! Someone help! Somebody help!"
Well, it was the fight scene.
We were stabbing cars.
Right. There was a whole fight scene in Wanton, and you were screaming, "Help me! Somebody help me! Somebody help me!"
Stop, motherfucker! Ow! Get off me! Get the fuck off me, bitch! Eddie, hey. Oh, okay.
Hey, Eddie, stay with me, bud, okay? Alright, I know, that's a lot of blood, buddy. Stay with me. Help, I need help! Hey, stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me.
Hey, stop. Help! Tell mother I love her. You're not black.
Is that what you're going off on? Is that how you died? Alright.
And I think there was a car we saw pull up to a stoplight across the street and like pause and speed off. And we were like, that was weird. And then a couple minutes later, we see a couple cop cars just kind of roll past.
They like whipped it in too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And they kind of stopped and just kind of saw that we were just filming and they just left.
Yeah. We seem to have this thing about murdering Conrad. There's no racial issues there, but Conrad seems to get in the way of a lot of knives, bullets, a lot of different stuff. But
yeah, we hope you enjoy Wanton.
Wonton.
Nah, it is not wonton.
It's wanton.
Uncultured.
Oh! You want to talk about culture?
Oh, shit. I just brought culture into
this. Guy's the racist guy. No.
This script has undergone
wait till you see,
so much
wait till you
work.
see all the racist shit was on the script.
That's
cool. No.
So we had some fun stuff with those police.
Yeah. So, but I don't think we ever really were hindered in filming anything. I mean, we did everything fine. So. But that kind of leads me into talking about really all those people that we worked with. What we found was not just working with people that were good at it, at their job and doing stuff, but like people that had great chemistry to work with. People like Lewis and Conrad and all these others were so much fun. and they knew how to make everybody like get in line with their vision, and as well like make them have a good time. Even if they were waiting around for 6 hours, they knew how to make them have fun, include them, and that really was very important to us because those were people that we wanted to work with. And we did have several people that brought us scripts and stuff and things, and we just had to start turning them down because we kind of knew who they were, and maybe the content wasn't as good, you know, for our level, but we thought that those were people that just didn't mesh well. We didn't want to sacrifice time for those people because there were people that were just so much better to be with. So those people we really appreciated, and it really helped us to grow in these kind of stages. And like we were talking about earlier, in these phases, you know, we had the really goofy, silly stuff that hardly anybody watched because it was just funny. We grew into working with other people, and once we had like refined all of our skills and talents and stuff to probably to the best that we could in the time that we were given with everything, we really started to almost go circular and make the goofy stuff and make it look good and make it fun and bring a lot of people in with that. So that really was just a great way to progress, and you can see the growth. You can watch the stuff at the beginning, in the middle, and the end, and I think you can definitely tell the difference in how good stuff is. So a lot of cringe.
I don't recommend it. Doing it all at once. Because that's what I did.
Yeah.
Whew. There's some rough parts.
Yeah, there's some really rough stuff.
Brandon. We should make promotional videos for Speed School.
We also wanted to touch on the grog.
There it goes.
There it goes. Hey.
Would not be a Magnolia Studios production without shit falling in the background. So, which leads Patrick into
okay, the stuff in the background. So we were kind of notorious for forgetting to take stuff out of the shot. Like our camera or the tripod bag and the camera bag are in the background of like the interview scene and the one. And none of us noticed until Daniel was like, "Hey guys, why don't you come check this out while I'm editing it?" And we're like, "Oh no, this is bad." But it's kind of a meme at this point. And then our grog right here, who was named after a Thermo 1 professor that
who is not look like this.
No, we just really didn't like him. So, but. Yeah, so we bought him as he was like the house mascot in college, and then we decided to put him in like the background of, we tried to do all of it, but he's not in all of them because we forgot a lot of the times. So if you watch closely, you can see him. Sometimes it's very subtle, and sometimes it's kind of blatantly obvious, but it was kind of just something fun to do from film to film.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun thing for us to kind of try to put a stamp, because it seems like every director or actor that we had watched had either they had a tick or a style, and other than just being kind of funny, ours was trying to include something like this that you could look for. So I think you could probably see him in about half of what we did. So
I think he got cut out in some of them.
Some of his scenes just got cut out.
Well, he was in all the big stuff, like he was Wanton, Humble. He was just in part 1, so I guess you can count on him. And then
and the gun piece we designed around him.
Yeah, that's right. It was like the warrior was like worshiping him or something. That's right. We had like all the candles.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
That is just scholar. So.
It was a struggle a lot of times. Like there's some rough nights. There's some long days. We did a lot of retakes, and again, thanks to everyone who put up with us. You know, I didn't hit record. Or
there was a couple times I did that.
The lights. And one of the scenes, the lights were super loud, and we freaked out over it, and it ended up not really being a problem. Cars, boats, anything going past, we'd hear. You know, toilets, people laughing in the background or something. And so it was just, there was a lot of stuff that it was frustrating, and it was tiring. But I think there was never one that I was like, that wasn't worth it. It was always worth doing and fun doing, I think.
Yeah, big enough, it's like, looking back, they're all dumb.
Right.
They're all, pretty bad. But we just had so much fun making them that, it's kind of like, worth it.
Yeah, totally. So, like you said, thank you to everyone that, number one, if you made it to the end of this video.
Yeah, right.
This is officially our longest production.
3 hours later.
So, congrats. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the countless number of minutes that people have watched at all. Any of our stuff. Thank you to everyone who's brought friends in. And thank you to the people, even though we just dropped the sign, if you want to show it, thank you to the people that made stuff like this happen. This was, this was like a culmination of a lot of different things. We put a lot of different films of ours to this. We did other stuff at the Louisville Art Collective. You know, we had a film show there. We went to Terre Haute, Indiana to show a film there. So we went to, it was all small stuff, but like a lot of this was very organic, and a lot of that wouldn't have been possible without everyone that worked on it, and especially the people that watched it. So thank you again.
Peace. Catch you on the next one.
Yeah.
And Daniel, my photographers, Magnolia Studios, shout out to them. Also, they actually was in a short, since we have a little time. I was in a short they directed. It was like Halloween, scary, spooky short. But I played the ghostly king. You have to go check that out, you know what I'm saying? It's on Magnolia Studios YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the channel. Go check that out. I think they are ready, and they're ready. So let me shut up. Round of applause, please.
I'm sure it might sound a little bad, but we'll watch it. Nobody's gonna watch it anyway.